All right, everybody, hello and welcome to the Go Home Show for TBD, to be determined. I am MG alongside DSE. DSE, how you doing?
I'm doing really well, considering I'm going to be retaining both the title belts today, and you will be getting nothing at the end of Mania weekend.
Little do you know, I'm going to have a replica Andre the Giant Battle Royal Memorial Trophy, made regardless of how things pan out. So although it'll be mostly chocolate wrapped in golden foil.
I'd also like to remind you that you're slowly running out of time to use that Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh wait, is Money in the Bank May?
It's getting close. I want to say
It's either May or June.
I think it's June.
Alright, well, I'll be like Seth Rollins and cash in at the last minute.
For Edge.
I know, right? So, you never know, Derek. I might go all in with the briefcase.
Do it, you won't.
Bet. Alright, so, with 85 matches on the card for WrestleMania, I think that most of our time will be wrapped up in just a quick, looking over each match and analyzing what's going on. Anything that you've heard going into WrestleMania weekend? Anything in particular? Any news? Any rumors?
I haven't heard anything too big. There's just been, the standard. There's Hall of Famers there, big names that are showing up in New York, but of course they are. I mean, it's WrestleMania. So really, it's been oddly quiet, which is kind of odd.
I have Harlem Heat winning the women's tag team belts.
I don't think so.
Oh, fine. Doubter. One thing I did hear, and it was actually interesting. If you look, apparently somebody did a screen capture of the contract that Kofi Kingston signed for WrestleMania, and the screen capture shows that the contract is dated March 10th, 2019. And so now there's a conspiracy theory because Brian and Rowan took a long time to analyze that contract. And so they're thinking that it might become a screw job, where it's going to be the next step in the screw job where he wins it, but then the next night on Raw, or the following night on SmackDown, they talk about how it was an unfair victory because he signed the wrong contract.
Yeah, well, without letting too much get spoiled for my predictions, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, the thing would be that Kofi would win, but then there would be the screw job, to try to endear him more. Basically, take whatever happened to Stone Cold or The Rock and just copy it to Kofi.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it would be a perfect way for Big E to interfere. Like Big E's upset because they had to go through the tag team gauntlet and even sign the wrong contract, and then just loses it. He's about due. Well, alright, do you want to get going on this?
Yeah, let's get going. I'm ready to give you the predictions that'll be your undoing.
Alright, well, let me see if I can pull up the card here. Want to make sure. Alright, let's see. Because I don't want to be let down, I thought we could start with WrestleMania 35 and then go to the main event, which would be NXT.
Yeah, but WWE put NXT for, today at the time of recording.
I know. Oh my goodness. So this recording has taken everything to get done. I just recently moved, and so in the midst of trying to set up for this podcast from my house, we also had to, I had to look through the many, many boxes that are still unpacked to try to find all my gear. And then we were having some audio difficulties, so I don't think we'll be asking Skype for a sponsorship anytime soon.
Oh no. Facebook, though, if you want to hit us up,
I'm just saying, Facebook, they already have all our info. We wouldn't even need to give it to them. I mean, what? They probably already know what's going to happen at WrestleMania 35. All right,
they're the ones who put together the betting odds.
They did. Mark Zuckerberg knows all. Alright, so let's start with some pre-show action. First of all, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So, I'll kick things off on this one. I have Michael Che of Saturday Night Live fame winning. and I'm giving it 5 confidence points. And here's what I'm thinking. Now, just so people can be aware of the rules, unless otherwise specifically, like right now it's based on the winner. How we think the winning happens is just bonus, just to see how good of bookers we are. Spoiler alert, I'm not that good. Here's my thought, that somehow Che and Jost are going to be the last 2 in, and Michael Che is going to eliminate Colin Jost. And here's the sad part, Colin Jost has cut better heel promos than just about 90% of any wrestler in WWE. I loved when he said he was willing to do Braun Strowman's taxes and teach him how to read.
I liked how he was like, "Oh, sorry for wearing the wrong hat. I'll wear the right hat this time."
I loved it. So, what do you have? What do you have picked?
I have Ethan Carter III, EC3.
Okay, I'm intrigued by this because right now I'm a big fan of Baby Steps. I'd like to hear him talk.
I think the reason they've kept him off TV and not having him talk is because they didn't know what to do with him. But having him win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal would be a good jumping off point for him to just start going at people, or at least being his egocentric self, like, "Oh, look what I won. I didn't even have to do anything to win this." So you could have Braun Strowman destroy half the field. You have interference from, say, one of the Saturday Night Live guys, along with, the standard culprits who've been hounding Braun all along, and have EC3 eliminate him right at the end because somehow or another he's the only one left.
See, and that was the wild card, because my thought was, what if Che and Jost do something and Braun eliminates himself because he's so overcome by rage he just goes over the ring ropes and goes down, and you can hear them go, "Wait a minute, he stepped over the ropes. Braun Strowman eliminated himself."
Yeah, I could see that happening.
All right.
I could also see EC3 being absolutely devastated in the middle of the ring, and, and that happening, so he's just laying there, the winner, completely down and out.
Which would be very, very symbolic of EC3's WWE tenure so far. How many confidence points are you giving that?
I gave it 6 confidence points.
All right. Next up, we have the Women's Battle Royal. So, Derek, who do you think... we'll alternate who goes first. Who do you think's going to win this one?
I have Nikki Cross.
Nice. Okay. I have Mandy Rose.
She's going to get eliminated by Sonya Deville.
You think so? See, I thought it was going to be a setup for... I saw Rose eliminating Deville, setting up a SmackDown title run. Not a SmackDown title run, but just a sub-feud or something.
I could see something like that happening, but I could also see them going at each other in the middle of it, just over a miscommunication. And honestly, Sonya being a better fighter than Mandy is,
that's true.
Probably get the one-up.
All you'd really have to do to defeat Mandy is just flip up the apron, the ring apron, and she will pretend to trip. So, all right, well, and then how many confidence points are you giving that? I gave Mandy Rose 3.
I gave Nikki Cross 5.
Ooh. So why do you think they give it to Nikki Cross? What do they do with that win?
Well, you have her win, and I'd say just have her start destroying the SmackDown women's roster. Just tearing them apart one by one, like Mad Woman.
I would hope so, but it just seems like they wasted this whole sanity thing. Like, they could have done so much.
Yeah, they waste every single tag team. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Their tag team division is a pitiful excuse for a division.
Oh, I wish I could argue with you. All right, and last up on the pre-show, we have Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. I have Nese winning the belt, and really my only justification is they're going to want to generate mild excitement, so they're going to have a title change on the pre-show.
I have Nese winning for the same exact reason.
They're like, we need a title change. Just let the small guys pass it around. Okay, I give it 1 confidence point.
I gave it 10.
Holy crap. Okay. Dude, I think if this goes the way I think it will, there are going to be some matches that'll sway us, like one way or the other. All right.
Definitely think so.
All right, so next up we have, let's see, let's just go down the line. Let's take a look. All right, so there is the Raw Tag Team title match, which is the Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. All right, who do you have for this one, Derek?
I have Aleister Black and Ricochet. I previously mentioned I didn't think they were going to get the titles until Mania, and I felt like they were going to get the titles at Mania.
But I think they're in the Fatal 4-Way.
What Fatal 4-Way?
So there is a Fatal 4-Way between the Usos, Ricochet and Black, The Bar, and Shinsuke and Rusev.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong part of my thing. Sorry about that.
It's Harlem Heat versus Hall and Nash versus the Steiner Brothers versus the Powers of Pain.
Who's in the Raw Tag Team match?
It's going to be the Revival versus Hawkins and Ryder.
Oh. I didn't put anything down.
I can give you a
I know
second.
they have 15 matches, which didn't include the...
So they have six. They have 16. So if you want, we can go to some other ones unless you need to do some quick reshuffle.
So here's what I'm gonna say. All right, 16 points. Hawkins and Ryder.
Oh my gosh! If that is the match that wins it for you, I am. Oh my gosh! I may literally hit you with a steel chair. I have
What can I say?
I have Hawkins and Ryder winning as well, but I gave it 10. I just feel like, well, one, the Revival is kind of being kicked around. For being champions, they have been the weakest tag team champions the way they've been booked. And I just think that this will be a good WrestleMania moment. I mean, remember wasn't it Zack Ryder that won the Intercontinental title in the ladder match?
Yeah, then he lost it the next day to the Miz.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hawkins and Ryder enjoy a nice one-day tag team reign.
You know what? I'd love to see him go on like a long, lengthy tag team reign.
I think that it would just lead up to the match we've all wanted at SummerSlam, which is Hawkins and Ryder versus Rhino and oh gosh, why is his name leaving me now?
It's a triple threat. You've got Hawkins and Ryder versus Rhino and Slater.
Yeah.
Versus the B team.
Oh man, I'd have to go B team.
Battle of the Jobbers.
I have a soft spot for Axel. So let's see.
Due to my mistake, my highest prediction is Hawkins Ryder. It's only fitting.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, so let's see what we have. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way, which is the Usos versus Black and Ricochet versus The Bar versus Shinsuke and Rusev.
I already let mine spoil. It's Black and Ricochet, 9 points.
Oh, see, I have Black and Ricochet as well, but I gave them 6. I feel like they're going to give them the titles, but at the same time, I heard the Usos just, I don't know, I heard the Usos just signed a new contract, and so WWE's screwy enough to be like, sure, keep the titles, but I think Black and Ricochet are going to take it. Any thoughts?
No, it's like I said on another episode of the podcast. I didn't see them winning a tag team title until Mania. But then again, also in that, I said they wouldn't win the Dusty Rhodes Classic, which has now led to that awkward, they're in a tag team title match for both the NXT tag titles and the SmackDown tag titles. However, if I had to pick one that they're going to grab, it's gotta be the SmackDown ones, because that's what makes sense.
Yeah, it would seem weird that they lose the NXT titles and win the SmackDown titles. Like, it almost makes the NXT product seem that much stronger. I mean, we know it is, but it would just seem weird, like, well, apparently War Machine was too much for us. No, it's not War Machine. Who are they facing?
War Raiders.
War Raiders, I don't know. Okay,
so... War Machine and ROH in New Japan.
So they're facing the War Raiders, and they're like, well, listen, the War Raiders are tougher than the Bar, the Usos, and Shinsuke and Rusev. Which might be accurate.
That's about right.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's see. Next up, we have, let's see, for the women's tag title, the Fatal Four Way. We have the Boston Hug Connection versus Beth Phoenix and Natalia versus the Iconics versus Nia Jax and Tamina, who I am surprised have not had come up with a tag team name yet.
It's because they're gonna break up.
Ooh. So who do you? Okay, so I think is it my turn to lead off on this one?
I think it's your turn, yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna lead off and say that it will be Beth and Natalia taking the titles, and for me, this is just the WWE doesn't take these titles seriously. Like, it just seems obvious that they don't take it as seriously as, well, frankly, I think they should. But I feel like this is one of those, like, this is kind of a career appreciation win. Like, oh, you guys get a WrestleMania moment to hold up these titles. Because Beth Phoenix kept making all those comments about how, I mean, she basically retired because there was no competition. It wasn't an injury.
Yeah, but I don't see them putting it on Beth Phoenix and Natalia. It just would seem like a waste of the younger talent.
And of course, WWE never wastes their younger talent in favor of veterans.
Oh, no.
By the way, I wonder who John Cena's opponent is going to be.
It's going to be Kurt Angle. No, in all seriousness, though, I do think that while yours is feasible, I believe that the not Raw Women's Tag title, it's just the tag titles, will make WrestleMania iconic.
I knew you were going to pick them. You are such an Iconics, Mark.
8 points.
Oh, of course you would. It's just that type of WrestleMania thing, because you'd be like, eh. Bailey's like, I'm used to being I'm used to having my title runs taken away. Let's see. Next up, we have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. So, is it safe for me to say how many points did you give Reigns for the victory?
Well, I've learned never to bet on Reigns, so 15 points since I forgot there were 16 matches.
I've given Reigns 12 points. I really think that with Reigns, it's one of those things where you have to let him win at WrestleMania after, like, it has to be the ending to the story. And McIntyre won't get hurt by that.
I don't think so either, especially if it's a really hard-hitting match, which it's gonna be. You can't have McIntyre and Reigns in a match together without it being brutal. I'd say that a barricade will get destroyed during this match, and perhaps a ref bump.
One can only hope.
But I think in the end, Reigns is going to get the upper hand, and it's not going to be like one spear to put McIntyre down. I'd say it's going to be 2 or 3, and then it'll be it.
I could see that happening. You know what? You know what's really funny? Now that everybody stopped hating on Reigns, I think there's more appreciation for the work he's done. Like, he is a good worker. I really think he's a solid worker.
To be fair, I never said he was a bad worker.
Oh, no.
All I said was that he was a bad character.
Yes. Which is not as bad as having bad character. The more you know, kids, the more you know. All right.
Just respect your parents and everything will be okay.
I know, right? Just say no. All right, let's see. Bobby Lashley versus the Demon Finn Balor. Now, does the Demon continue his undefeated streak? I said yes, and I gave it the full 16.
I said yes, and I gave it 14. The reason being is I think the Demon is going to scare Leo Rush so much, he makes it an error. Because it didn't seem like Bobby was intimidated on Raw. It seemed like Leo Rush was scared out of his mind.
Yeah, I feel like it was funny. It almost was like the cameras, like, it was almost like Bobby didn't know the camera was going to be on him, and Leo did. But I'm interested to see how they play this off. Like, if it's one of those where Lashley comes in overconfident and then it's kind of like the old, and I know that you have talked about in the past how the Undertaker should hand off the mantle to the Demon. But almost like when Undertaker would walk to the ring and you'd see the opponent start to freak out.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do that with Lashley. I think we're making our way through this quicker than I thought.
To get the first move, do like a suplex or something, and have the Demon just pop right back up.
And then Undertaker and Kane come out and it becomes the worst faction ever.
The Trio of Terror.
Ooh. But like Kane has to be a mayor now, so he has like the red suit with the tie, and he's like, "You will get vetoed straight to hell.
I will fill the pothole with your corpse."
Oh my God! It's a city hall match. There's no stipulations. It's just he had some personal matters to attend to.
It's a Knox County slobber knocker.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE United States Championship. All right, let's see. Who do you got?
I have Joe, because I feel like it's too early to take the title off him.
Yeah.
But this was one I was really, really mulling over, because I could see Mysterio potentially picking up a win. So I gave it 3 points.
Ooh. I picked Joe as well, but I gave it 8. I'll tell you right now, the most entertaining match in Fastlane was the 4-way U.S. title match for me.
Oh, definitely.
It feels like old school WCW when they had the solid mid-card. It just seems like with the athletes, like, with Andrade and whoever, they can just kind of have that U.S. title battle. And it seems like the one time it actually is serving a purpose versus just a placeholder for somebody.
Right. Unlike when it was on Rusev, where it felt like it was a placeholder. I love Rusev, but it didn't.
Wait, Rusev lost the title?
What?
Man, I
Rusev
have...
Day?
Oh, man. I knew I should have watched it before 2 years ago. Alright, let's see. What do we have next? I think, and you know what's funny is we're only like a little over halfway on the card. For the love of everything. Okay, let's see. We have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
I have Styles winning. I don't see Randy Orton picking up a win here or needing to pick up a win here. Also, I feel like if they had Orton win here, there would have to be a continuation of the feud. Like, Styles would have to get his revenge at Mania. However, I will say that if Styles gets too deep into this, and Orton does the Orton thing where he's just destroying Styles, I could potentially see Styles getting desperate enough to call in some backup.
And who would he call?
Well, he's got to call the Good Brothers, of course.
Ah. See, I'm surprised Anderson and Gallows are even invited after what they did during the tag team, after how they were booked for the tag team gauntlet match. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just count down the days till you can go to AEW.
They can go there, join Kenny.
Dude, why not? And Finn's like, wait for me, guys. Alright, so
I'll be the Demon every day now.
I'll put on the face paint whenever I want. So, how many confidence points did you give AJ Styles?
12.
Oh gosh. But wait, you gave Reigns 12.
No, I gave Reigns 15.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so you gave AJ Styles 12. I gave AJ Styles 7. I don't know. I got the feeling like it was a coin flip. Like I could see either one winning, and my only logic was, well, Orton was over on Tuesday, so I mean, I really had no logic beyond that.
Yeah, it's not where I was with it. This feud seems a little bit rushed.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it breathe a little more.
I feel like I don't know, and I can't verify this at all. But remember, there was that whole talk of AJ Styles' contract being up, and he hadn't like officially signed yet. I'm wondering if once he signed, then they were like, okay, listen, okay, finally, we can go with this angle, go. And they had to play catch-up. Catch-up. Let's see what else we have. Good golly, there's so many matches. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Wait a minute. Let's...
I think you're looking at the wrong mania.
I would pick Hogan in that one, bad hip and all. Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Or as we like to call it, an excuse for Shane to jump off of things and break himself.
I have The Miz winning due to interference from his dad.
Oh, running by The Miz's dad. All right, and how many confidence points are you giving him?
11.
All right. I have The Miz winning and 15 confidence points. I think we'd make a pretty
Do you also have a run-in by dad?
No, I don't have a run-in by dad, but I think that makes the most sense. Like, I would love to see one thing where it was like Shane was climbing up to the top and like the dad was waiting and just pushes him off. Like, oh my god!
Mr. Miz just murdered Shane O'Mac.
Spoiler alert, he really did. It just got really awkward at Mania.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Oops, it's all fun and games till somebody gets murdered. We might need to edit that out. Alright, so... I'm a youth pastor. In a barn burner, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. I don't know if we should predict how quickly Angle wins this one. And I have this feeling like it's going to be a squash and they get to Cena.
I don't think it's going to be a squash. I don't think Corbin comes out.
You think Cena beats the crap out of him?
Oh, yes. You gotta remember, Cena doesn't like Corbin, and even cost him the Money in the Bank briefcase. It would make sense if Corbin talked mad trash to Cena about how garbage Angle was, and how he was gonna get Cena later in the same manner. Cena would destroy him.
I see that. Either way, I have Angle winning. You have to have the man win his retirement match.
Oh yeah, I have Angle winning too. However, I give it 4 confidence points because I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
Well, I went the opposite way and I gave it 13. So, just to be clear, as long as Angle is considered the winner, we get that, right? Regardless of how it comes about.
Right. We get that regardless of how it comes about.
However,
bonus points. I'd say 1 bonus point if Corbin doesn't come out, and you get a bonus point if Corbin gets squashed.
Okay. Because I have... Well, it's weird because I remember we talked about, like, the points for who John Cena's opponent would be. I have Angle. I'm not sure what I was thinking, how that was all going to play out. I just felt like at the end they were going to get to Cena, whether it's a squash and then, like, he destroys him and Cena says, okay, now take me on, and then he beats Cena. Or something like that. Like, I feel
like the best way to do it would have Cena destroy Corbin in the back because Corbin's being pompous.
Yeah, but I want to see Angle get the last word on Corbin. Like, if Corbin came in and Angle just, like, quickly did the Angle slam in a submission move and had him tap out, kick him out, and then Cena says, hey, you got room, you got enough for one more.
I could see that happening, too. Guess we'll have to wait till Sunday.
Why do I feel like this is going to be the one thing that determines the title?
That'd be hilarious. We're going to end up in a tie again, and I'll slink away.
Sad.
It's like the NXT title for like the past 3 times.
Good God. And I felt so...
again.
I felt so confident, too. Like, oh, man. Okay, so Triple H versus Batista. The winner gets to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. The loser gets to... The loser... Well, I don't know. We all lose on this one. By the way, I don't understand how Batista can come in and cut the best freaking promos. And I'm wondering, is he writing his own? Because how is his... Like, I loved when he showed the video, told Triple H to kiss his butt, and then just left.
That was amazing.
And it was just like one of those things where I'm like, where's that for anybody else?
I feel like Batista wrote his own thing.
Or he has he has a Hollywood writer. He's like, this guy did Guardians too. He's going to take care of my promos.
As far as as the match goes, I really had a tough time with this one. I can't exactly put my finger on why.
I bet you and I picked the same thing and the same reason.
Triple H having his career on the line is odd to me, but at the same time, I don't understand why Batista would be the one to do it. And due to that logic and wanting to see someone else retire Triple H, I decided to go with Triple H at 2 points.
Okay. I went with Triple H at 11 points, and here's why. I feel like what's going to happen is there's going to reach a point where Batista is like dominating Triple H. Ric Flair, who is one of my picks for the veterans that come in, avenges getting beat up, comes from behind, does a low blow or something on Batista when the ref's not looking, sets him up for pedigree and the victory. Now, I'm saying Triple H wins. I'm not counting a bonus point for the Flair interference, but I feel like Flair's going to play a role because that was just left untaken care of, and it gives Flair one more mini WrestleMania moment.
What if? Booker D time.
Oh, here we go.
What if it was all set up by Batista and Ric Flair? So Ric Flair goes in there, it looks like he's going to low blow Batista, but instead he turns on Triple H, and Batista wins, and Triple H has to retire from in-ring competition. Next Monday, Flair comes out and he explains that the reason he screwed over Triple H is because he didn't want to see Triple H get old and wrestle into his 70s like Flair did, and didn't want to see him get broken, battered, and worn. Telling him that the signs of aging were already there with the torn pec and the match against The Undertaker and Kane being so bad.
See, but they already did that with the Sting angle when Flair came out and said, you don't want to do this, you've proven enough, and then Triple H beat the crap out of him.
I don't know. Something about this just seems fishy to me.
Well, Flair and Batista are former tag team champions.
Yeah.
I think Flair wins with the figure 4.
Woo!
All right. So let's see. So you have Triple H with 4 confidence points. Supposedly at Ric Flair's 70th birthday party, Tony Schiavone was talking to Triple H, and Triple H told him, hey, don't worry, you'll be getting a call from us soon. It would be the greatest night in the history of our sport. Yeah. All right, I think that what's left is the main matches. So we have, first of all, let's do Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Here's where I'm torn. There's one world title match that's going to have a wonky finish. There's one of them that's not going to be right because I just feel like the WWE is going to want to surprise people.
Here, we'll start with Bryan versus Kofi.
Okay, let's do that one.
All right. Now, you know how I mentioned earlier how I felt like this whole thing seemed odd and that your idea of the contract wouldn't happen? It's because I have Daniel Bryan winning at one point.
Oh, I didn't expect that. I went a slightly different route. I went Kofi with 14.
Oh, well then.
I just figured that I figured that one thing was gonna happen. They were gonna give the fans one WrestleMania moment, one expected win, and one screw job or like total swerve.
But if there's gonna be one that has a screw job, it's gonna be the Bryan Kofi match. The Authority has their hands all over it. They don't have their hands all over Rollins Lesnar, and there's nothing they can really do about the women's triple threat.
See, the women's triple threat's going to be the wonky one, I think. So you have Bryan with 1. Okay, so let's go with Rollins, because I feel like the women's title match will be the biggest point of discussion for us. Rollins and Lesnar. I mean, I'll just put it cut and dry. I think they need to give the title to... I mean, obviously with... obviously all it takes is Brock Lesnar threatening to leave and then Vince backing up the Brinks truck for him. But I picked Rollins to win with 9 points.
I picked Rollins to win with 13.
Ooh. I just feel like that's the one thing they need to pay that off.
They need to get the belt off Lesnar. I'm sick of having that Universal title around these part-timers who are never there. It's getting really annoying.
I loved it.
Lose almost any interest in Raw because I'm like, where's the world title? Doesn't matter because he's not here.
One of the funniest things was when Bryan was doing commentary, and it was a Lesnar match, Bryan was doing commentary early on when he had to give up the belt, and he made a comment, and he said, "I have literally defended the title as many times as Brock Lesnar over the last 6 months. How is that fair?" And it just went under the radar, but I thought it was the funniest thing. You know what? I liked when Roman Reigns was champ, because that first night when he let Finn Balor have a shot, because he's like, "You never got the rematch you deserved. Do you take my challenge?" It was like, this title's on the line all the time. I like that.
Right. It felt like the belt was important. However, when it's around Lesnar, it feels like a waste of space.
Well, like the John Cena U.S. title challenge, at first I thought, oh, geez, what is this? But it actually made the title seem important because it was launching people, and it was like, oh, Cena really cares about this thing.
Yeah. Cena made that title relevant again, only for it to get buried into oblivion.
I'm still shocked Rusev lost it. But then again, I thought Luger was still the champ, so what do I know? All right, here we go. This is going to be the interesting one. The triple threat match. Now, here's the thing. You and I have talked off the air, offline, I guess, about potential scenarios. So, the points are going to be for the winner of the match, the winner-take-all match. But I think that it would just be interesting for us to venture some guesses out there, because I think it can go in so many ways that getting the bonus points would be splitting hairs.
Okay.
So, do you want to go with your pick first, or do you want to go with mine?
I have Becky Lynch winning at 7 points. Here's why. I think Charlotte Flair is going to get destroyed by Rousey, because it seemed like they set that up on Raw during the whole fiasco. It seemed like those two were really going at each other, with Becky more taking a back seat, which I could see potentially causing that to explode. Not to mention that Charlotte has used underhanded tactics to get Rousey over and over and over again. I'm not saying Lynch hasn't been an exception to that, but it seems like all of hers were more opportunists, whereas Charlotte's were more of an act of cowardice. And I think in the end that's going to come back to bite Charlotte. I could also see Becky getting taken out by the both of them rather fast, because if they had to pick one person to team up against, it'd be a common hated enemy, and neither one of them liked Becky very much, which would be a good way to take her out of the match for most of it until the end.
Now, triple threat match, there's no DQ, right?
Correct.
Okay, I have Flair winning, and I have 2 points because I feel like this is going to be the one where this is really me reaching. I feel like Vince doesn't know when to stop, and I feel like he's going to try to ride the white hot heat that much further. So what would give you more heat? A Becky Lynch screw job at WrestleMania, being robbed of a WrestleMania moment. But I also, like, I don't know why, but, and maybe it's just because I've been listening to you a ton, I could totally see something where the match is over and, you know, Lynch or Flair or whoever wins. Then they do that thing of, we did it, ladies. You know, like after the end of the Undertaker match, the Undertaker-Kane, Shawn Michaels match before the attack,
Right.
where they hold up their hands like, okay, at the end of the day, we did it. We main evented WrestleMania. Who is it? Jessamine Duke and Shafir, I believe it is. Marina Shafir come out, attack the two girls, attack Charlotte and Becky. Ronda stands tall at the end of WrestleMania with those three, and now all of a sudden you start building that 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen feud. But that's just me. That's just me stretching.
But I don't think it would matter whether you had Lynch or Charlotte having the title at that point. However, if Charlotte slinks off, like, you know, Flair's do, to avoid confrontation.
You know it, baby.
And Lynch is up on the stage, and you have Baszler, Shafir, and Jessamine Duke attack her, that would probably get more heel heat on the 4 UFC women than if they attacked Charlotte.
And then all of a sudden you see Charlotte run back in, and then you have Bayley and Sasha running behind her.
I don't think Charlotte would get involved until she needed to. I honestly think Charlotte would slink away, watch all this happen, and it would only be until, let's say, you have a title match between Lynch and Flair later on down the road, and you have Rousey come in and destroy both of them, or just have both of them get mugged, that Charlotte would have any motivation towards it. She doesn't want to help Becky, she wants to win her titles. She only cares about being the queen.
That's true. No, I can't argue with that. Now, do you think that Ronda's done after WrestleMania for a while, or do you think that they carry this on into SummerSlam?
I think Ronda will take a break until SummerSlam.
I think that's fair. Okay, so
I would say if you were going to have her, like, the good way to get Charlotte into the feud, you wait until SummerSlam and have her interfere there.
I could see that.
That would also set it up for Survivor Series.
Now, did we talk about predicting who John Cena's opponent was going to be for a bonus point?
We did, but we both said Kurt Angle, so...
That's really a wash. As far as... I know we talked about Legends. Really, the only one that I could think of that would be a surprise, as far as a run-in perspective, not like, hey, look who's in the crowd, but like participating. The only Legend I could really think of was Ric Flair. Part of me wondered if there would be some kind of run-in like by Lita or Trish during the tag team match. I doubt it, but I'm not putting anything past the WWE trying to use all their star power at WrestleMania.
I'm gonna say Sting and Undertaker make an appearance in the ring.
Shut up! Okay. I will put down Sting and Undertaker.
By the way, Mike, hate to put you on the spot, but, bonus points for the NXT predictions.
Yeah.
New signee in the crowd.
Oh. Crap, I haven't kept track of their signings lately. Oh, I know. Give me a second. Robbie E.
I have Kushida.
Darn you.
Alright, with that, I believe it's time to go to our main event.
NXT, the one that matters. Do you have the
a new theme for NXT by Slipknot.
I saw that. It was so good. I'm like, once again, even the entrance is better. And then you have all the and then you have all the superstars promoting it. I loved Paul Heyman. Just the way that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman.
And
I am the advocate for the band known as Slipknot.
He does this thing where he's like, intensity, ferocity, NXT. And you're like, I'd believe that. I'd buy that from you, Heyman. All right, I got that.
Put on t-shirt. Just like I don't recall.
I don't recall. All right, do you have the card for NXT, or do you want me to pull it up?
You probably should pull it up.
All right, let's see.
I've only got my predictions because, I'm going to be right. And I'm going to slink away with the title again in a tie.
Let's see. Okay, so we have... All right. Oh. Okay. I'll tell you the one match. There's one match on here I'm really excited to watch. Like, it'd be worth the replay. So, all right, here we go. Let's take a look. Let's see. First off, we have. Let's go with Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. 2 out of 3 falls match for the vacant NXT Championship. I have Cole winning this one, and I'm gonna give it 4 confidence points.
I have Cole winning on 2 confidence points.
See, my thought with that was that Gargano's all but on the main roster.
I'd say so too. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it to give him that feel-good moment. However, there's a couple reasons why I don't think that would happen. 1, like you said, he's pretty much already on the main roster. 2, I don't think he's gonna be But the other reason is because he kind of already got his feel-good moment when he got the North American title in Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I would also say that without Ciampa there, there's no payoff to the story. And I liked something the Cultaholic guys said. They said that it feels like with the Johnny Gargano story due to the Ciampa injury, they're just scrapping 2 months worth of booking, and they're going, well, we were going to put it on Cole in 2 months anyway, so let's just go ahead and do that match now.
Nah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, the match that I am dying to see is Pete Dunne versus Walter for the WWE UK Championship, and I'm not being sarcastic in the slightest.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing match. Hard-hitting.
I have Walter winning the UK Championship with 5 confidence points. I think it's time for Dunne. They cannot bring Walter in and do that, especially if they're going to use him for their UK brand.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah?
I hate to break it to you, but that's a wash. I have Walter at 5 points.
Oh, I hate you. I hate
Reason
you.
being is because I can't wait to see Pete Dunne's chest look like meatloaf.
I know. I caught some Walter matches on a YouTube just to catch up on it, and I'm like, oh my, because
Shots sound like gunfire.
Well, Meltzer was like freaking out. He's like, that's gonna be that's the match of the year candidate. I'm like, really? And then I watched. I'm like, okay, makes sense. See, here's the deal. I feel like I don't know.
How would Pete Dunne hit the bitter end on Walter?
That's true, but that would make it even more. I would want to see that happen just so Mauro Ranallo can have a reaction.
So he can freak out like, oh my, he hit the bitter end on Walter.
Is this the bitter end for Walt? And I just want to see if Mauro Ranallo will in fact explode.
Probably.
I think that okay, so we go on to War Raiders versus Aleister Black and Ricochet. I think War Raiders retain. And I'm going to give that one 3 confidence points.
I gave it 4 confidence points.
Yeah, I think it's all but certain that Aleister Black and them are and Ricochet are on their way out.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a fact at this point. There's not much else you can say about it. And my prediction for that Fatal 4-Way at Mania pretty much says it all.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Velveteen Dream versus Matt Riddle for the North American Championship. I wanted to go Riddle on this one, but I feel it's too soon, and for some reason they're not sending Velveteen up to the main roster. What really messed with my head was the fact that they did the call-up like so early. Because I'm like, are you going to do a call-up, then you're going to do another call-up after WrestleMania?
Right.
And I think it's too soon to give Riddle the belt just yet. So I'm going to take a risk and say Velveteen Dream, and I'm going to give it 1 confidence point.
Hey, that's another wash. I have Velveteen Dream at 1 confidence point.
Okay, you got to give me a little credit. I'm getting better at... I'm actually paying more attention now.
Yeah, obviously. You're tying with me on some of these.
Alright, so the last match we have is the Fatal 4-Way with Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai versus Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane. I have Bianca Belair winning and 2 confidence points.
I have Io Shirai winning at 3 confidence points.
Now see, I was going to pick Sane because I thought it would be good for her to have another run, but I really feel like they're going to take Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and move them up to the main roster to enhance the women's tag team division.
I wouldn't be so sure about that right now, because they've got plenty of tag teams as it is, and they've got plenty of things they could do. Like, you've got the Iconics, you have the Boston Hug Connection, and if you have the 4 Horsewomen of NXT go up, or not 4 Horsewomen of NXT, UFC, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, you've got that there. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see them getting brought up until after Survivor Series, especially if you're going to try to use those tag titles to build the 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen.
That makes sense.
You give Io Shirai a good singles run, and then have her lose to Bianca Belair later down the road. give Bianca some time to develop a little bit more, because every time I see one of her matches, I think she's good. I see a lot of potential, but I don't think she's ready to be champion yet.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny because NXT is only 5 matches, but you know each one of those matches is going to be incredible.
Oh, they're going to be amazing. I'm kind of disappointed I have to work until 10.
Oh.
I have to avoid spoilers the entire time.
Oh, dude, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just excited to check it out. I'm going to be busy. We have plans like all day on Saturday, but I'm going to be checking the results to see. But I am going to. What?
The NXT.
Oh, that's right. It's coming this. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. But either way, it's going to be it's definitely going to be an incredible. Like that is going to be the highlight card.
Oh yeah, it's going to be absolutely awesome.
I still think Harlem Heat wins the women's tag titles. Because suckers guts to know.
You're probably going to get a text message from me on Saturday with me bawling my eyes out because of the Heart Foundation induction.
Oh. I can't... Now, I did hear a rumor... I don't know if it's a rumor so much, but on the Masked Man podcast, they were talking about how they're going to change the format for the Hall of Fame to where they're actually, like, it's going to be, like, they'll get a nice entrance, there'll be an induction, but the speeches are going to be significantly shorter. I heard they're aiming for a 2.5-hour time, or the basic equivalent to one Hillbilly Jim speech.
I can see that. I think if there was one I don't particularly care to hear from, it's got to be the barber.
Oh my gosh, I wonder if it's going to be interesting to see if they have Hogan do the induction. It's going to be like the person doing the induction's totally going to outshine the one that...
Quite frankly, I've just never cared about Mike.
Listen, just because Brutus has made a living riding the coattails of Hulk Hogan is no reason to not include him in the fictitious WWE Hall of Fame.
Reason not to include him. But the saving grace is going to be the Honky Tonk Man singing to us.
I know. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the Honky Tonk Man speech. Like DX.
Oh, the DX?
See, the DX thing is... I just feel like they're going to keep trying to rehash gimmicks. And then there'll be the emotional moment for Chyna, who should go in on her own.
She should. I think this is kind of to gauge fan reaction initially. But since there was that overwhelming support for, like, including Chyna, I think she'll have her time soon.
I hope so, but I just feel like they're going to rehash a lot of gimmicks. I'm excited for Honky Tonk Man. I just haven't seen Stevie Ray in a long time, so I'm kind of excited for Harlem Heat's induction.
I haven't seen many Harlem Heat matches. I just know they were amazing.
They had some really good matches. Like, they were always fun to watch. And then Stevie Ray branched off and became part of the NWO Black and White when everybody was a part of it, and it totally just lost steam. Booker T ended up moving up the ranks, and it wasn't pretty, but suckers gots to know. All right, well, Derek, it felt good to actually get this podcast done. It'll be interesting to see WrestleMania. We'll do the follow-up, and hopefully now that we have, once we can figure out this method with the recording, across the way, I think it'll be easier to do these. It'll be easier to do these podcasts. So,
I think so.
So it'll be interesting to see the fallout. Oh, go ahead.
However, I would like to remind everybody that with WrestleMania coming, I do have a new segment that I'm going to try to introduce to the channel.
Ooh,
It's
that's
called
right.
Wrestling with the Noobs.
Oh, this is going to sound fun.
A bunch of people who don't typically watch wrestling, and I'm going to be sitting down and watching Mania with me. And then after Mania, I'm going to record their reactions and their thoughts. However, that segment may or may not be child-friendly, depending on what one of my friends has to say. So there might be a lot of bleeps at some points during that one. And for that, I apologize.
See, I think that is going to be a hidden gem. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. And so, Derek, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the YouTube channel and where they can find it?
So you can find the YouTube channel at TBD Pro Wrestling Podcast. It is currently being run by myself. I am commissioning an artist friend of mine to make us a new logo, a little bit more professionally done, as well as a background for our YouTube channel. I'll also be trying to edit the podcast videos so it's not just our logo for an hour straight. Instead, I'll probably be including pictures, setting up for some of the matches, maybe using some Getty Images pictures here and there for talking about a specific person. But overall, we're going to try to make it a little bit more appealing to the eyes, a little bit more interesting. And I'm truly hoping that for future ones, I can have the audio, not before the Friday of NXT, but with enough time for me to go through and run some 2K footage, so we have that playing in the background instead.
Yeah, we'll get better on the timing thing. Yeah, I have no words for that. Well, I guess the only thing left to do is to see what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Derek, before we call it a day, do you have any last-minute thoughts before NXT or Mania start? Anything that you think might happen, or anything you wouldn't be surprised happens?
Honestly, I would not be surprised if come the WrestleMania we see Lacey Evans enter the Women's Battle Royale. If she does, I could see her winning it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hawkins turn on Ryder. I would not be surprised if we see a Vince interference in the Bryan Kofi match. And if there is an interference on Vince's part, I would not be surprised if Vince takes a bump. Furthermore, I'm excited for the NXT episodes and tapings after the Mania, because I think there's going to be an injection of fresh blood, and one person I'm really hoping gets more screen time is Casey Canizaro.
Yes, I was really impressed with her performance at the Rumble. I thought that she had a great showing. See, and that was the thing, and when we talked about it I talked about it yesterday, I think the reason why people thought Lacey Evans' Royal Rumble performance was disappointing is because she came in at 2. But Casey came in, was she in the 10s or the teens?
She was in the teens, I believe.
She was in the teens and had a great showing, so it's almost like the positioning almost puts pressure on you.
I could see that.
But
she did amazing. She was amazing in the Mae Young Classic. She was amazing at the Rumble. And I really, really hope that she gets more of a spotlight at next.
Are you talking about Casey?
Yeah.
I think I hope so as well. Well, I'm excited to see what happens. I'll be honest. I like knowing the results sometimes prior to watching, because I know what matches to skip through. I can't watch all 16 matches. I just do not have the willpower to do that. I'm going to be honest. I can't go Broadway anymore when it comes to that kind of stuff. Unless it was like we did last year, where it was, for the Rumble, where it was like pizza, wings, and just vegging. But I don't think that's going to happen this year.
No, unfortunately, I've got some noobs to host.
Dude, that's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see how that goes.
I'm debating whether it should be a live reaction format or not, so stay tuned. We'll see.
Oh, that'll be awesome. So like Derek said, you can follow us on YouTube. Also, please, if you can, please rate us 5 stars on wherever you get this podcast. Every rating helps us out. And
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe. I'm the old man of the group. I'm like, what? What do we do?
What? I don't know this newfangled YouTube.
I think Bruno Sammartino will win the whole thing.
I think it's Pedro Morales.
Where's Nick Bockwinkel?
Where's the Iron Sheik?
Okay, so the other day I watched the Gimmick Battle Royal. at WrestleMania. I think it was X7 or whatever, WrestleMania 17. It was so amazing just to watch the Iron Sheik. And then later I heard the story that the reason why he won the gimmick battle royal is because he couldn't take a bump. Like, he couldn't take a bump, so they were like, we have no choice but to have him win.
Seems legit.
Dude, I want to do that. I'm like, listen, guys, I can't take a bump. I think that's part of the reasoning behind the Jost and Che thing. They're coming straight from the Saturday Night Live taping, like the live show on Saturday night, to come to WrestleMania. I don't know how much time they've had to take their bumps.
Throw a bunch of people outside the ring using Strowman and throw them at the people.
Yeah, but they're WWE. I wouldn't trust that.
I think it'd be funny seeing the Saturday Night Live guys in a cast afterwards.
Oh, dude. I heard that they're supposed to, I heard that Strowman's supposed to show up on SNL. I haven't watched the video yet of Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, the Jimmy Fallon one's awesome. He has him doing children's taunts. Go to my Facebook page. I have it posted.
I'll have to check that out. Well, we will get back to you after WrestleMania. We'll let you know who has the titles.
Spoiler alert, it'll be me. Yeah.
Only because I will have won them and he will not have given them to me.
You see, what Mike has said is not a fact, but in fact, it's a spoiler.
It's nice to know you're in waiting if Heyman can't do the job. So until next time, for DSC, I'm MG, and you know what? No, we're gonna call an audible. Derek, take us out.
And remember, folks, just like the Wrestling News podcast and this podcast in general, the results of WrestleMania and NXT are yet to be determined, and so are we. And we're out.